Yeah. Gotta get there fast, Sean. Yeah. Gotta get there fast, Sean.
Welcome Britball Nation to our power rankings following the fourth weekend of Uniball, and what a weekend it was. Not one but two 50 burgers, and both from the bottom tier no less, and upsets and nail biters galore. We've pushed hard this week to work with as many programs as possible to get highlights, and in some cases lowlights, to fill our weekly features to the brim with Britball out on the field. As such, a big shout out to those programs who have gone out of their way to get us footage in line with our deadlines. We really appreciate the extra effort, and we're sure the rest of the Britball Nation does too. We're kicking things off with Division 2, so let's jump into it. We'll get the nasty part out of the way first as we take a peek at those who didn't make the cut this week. No surprises, the UCL Emperors who got the season off to such a fine start go falling out of the rankings this week following a 62-2 crushing against the Southampton Stags. Hopefully the Emperors see it as a learning experience, and certainly judging by their social media feed, they took the thumping with some class and heads held high. York, scared they were going to lose their spot through inactivity, instead drop out thanks to their overtime loss against Heriot Watt, who have put the 2A boarders on alert. The rebranded Griffins also slip out of the rankings but are worth an honourable mention. Their burger gave them a great start to the season, but they've only played a single fixture so far, so it's tough for them to keep up with others who are 2 or 3 games into their campaigns. They'll get a chance to climb high into the rankings this weekend as they have probably their biggest game of the year on Sunday, as they take on the conference favourites, the Bangor Mud Dogs. Similarly, the Bristol Barracuda and Leicester Longhorns have both had a couple of good weeks, but they're not quite top 10 material just yet. And of course we have to give a shout out to the MMU Eagles, who came up trumps with a huge fourth quarter comeback on Sunday. If any of the above have a strong week 5, we could well see them nudge others out of the rankings.
10.
One of a number of teams that appear to have been Icarused. They climbed too high, too fast, and perhaps some overconfidence led to their fall at the weekend. The Colonials cling on to the power rankings just barely, thanks to their strong early season performances, but their fourth quarter fall against MMU could well have cost them the conference, as with only a 6-game season in the bottom tier, there's little room for mistakes. Their week 6 fixture against Coventry now becomes an absolute must-win if the Colonials want to move out of the basement tier and move back up the rankings.
9.
With the Emperors taking a dive out of the rankings, Quimble can now fly solo in the number 9 spot. They came from behind in the second half to take victory at the weekend, which shows some strong self-belief from the rookie programme, but their biggest games are going to come post-Christmas break.
8.
Raptors rise into the ranks following their second straight shutout victory. They'll look to keep the perfect streak going against a young and injury-plagued Chester Legion, but don't go counting the Legion out just yet, as every week of extra training for a rookie team can work wonders.
7.
The Chargers stay put in 7. We thought we might see them climb as others fell, but instead they've been leapfrogged. We've had confirmation that their game this weekend against the ARU Rhinos is going ahead, so this should be another opportunity for the Chargers to climb.
6.
The Blitz also stay put. They've had a couple of bye weeks to repair following a narrow win against OBU. However, best we can tell, they'll still be without starting quarterback Fen Trudgeon as they take a trip to Bournemouth. The Bobcats will have taken a confidence boost from their win against the Bulldogs, so this could be a trap game for the Blitz if they come into it complacent.
5.
The Stags charge back up the rankings courtesy of the top offensive performance so far this Uniball season, skewering the UCL Emperors to the tune of a 62-2 smackdown. It's a reality check for the young Emperors program, who started the season looking surprisingly strong with a 40-0 win, but came crashing back to earth against this Stags team, who will have had a big confidence boost following this fixture. Running back Aaron Adeoke had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter alone, and the shell-shocked Emperors will have been pleased to get on the scoreboard at all courtesy of a safety.
4.
Bangor rise thanks to the Colonials plummeting, and not at all to do with their great taste in Uniball websites.
3.
And the Brunel Burners are back in the top 3 following a confident 36-0 win over the KCL Regents. It was the first fixture of the season for the Regents, and by all accounts they struggled to get much going against a tough Burners D and an offense that dominated the time of possession, passing only 3 times all game, and those were on screenplays.
2.
Gladiators look good in the number 2 spot, as they've proved this weekend they can win tough as well as win big. Tied 7-all at the half, the Gladiators took a page out of the Panthers playbook against the Blitz and put enough hits on both the OBU veteran QBs to push them out of the game. With a rookie under centre, the offense stalled, and the Gladiators' ever dangerous ground game was able to take advantage and exert itself for a strong looking victory in the second half.
1.
And the Jets soar back to the top of the Division 2 rankings off a high-flying 33-0 win over the Huddersfield Hawks. The atmosphere on the Jets sidelines at games is infectious, and they're winning on and off the field at the moment. They cut down on their mistakes, so they still made more than they'd like, and ultimately their season may well come down to their Week 6 performance against the shell-shocked Lincoln Colonials. For now, however, the Jets are 2-0 with neither opponent running them close, and rightly reclaim their number 1 ranking. There we go, nation. Do you think we should have included others? The Colonials are now the only team in the top 10 who suffered a loss. Should they have been dropped out of the rankings performance entirely, or do the earlier performances justify their position and Sunday was just a bump in the road? Remember, if you like our content, let us know by, liking it. Hitting that little thumbs up button on YouTube literally takes a matter of seconds, but does wonders in helping us get your content to a wider audience. If your team featured in these rankings, why not give us a quick share on Facebook or Twitter? Make sure your friends see yourself and your teammates busting out big plays. If you haven't already done so, get yourself on YouTube and smack that subscribe button so you don't miss out as we increase our weekly content output. And in the meantime, play hard, play safe, and go check out our scoop of Uniball Week 4 where we've shoved highlights of every game we could get hold of them for into 10 minutes of Britball brilliance.